Krim Productions. Expect the unexpected.
What's good, everybody? This is your boy Antoine Criminal Mosley, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Krim Show right here on iTunes, my Krim Productions fan page on Facebook, various apps on tablets and iPads all over the world, of course on Spreaker.com, and of course I'm coming to you live from the pad. How's everybody doing today on this Wednesday afternoon? Here in Florida, it has been raining, it has been gloomy, but you know what? It's been pretty relaxing for the most part. I, on the other hand, have actually just fully recovered from a unexpected illness that I suffered. I ended up having a really high fever the past couple days, especially after Valentine's Day. I had a really bad fever. I had a temp of like 102, and I was pretty much bedridden for the majority of the day and a half. But I'm happy to report that I'm back on my feet and I'm 100% healthy again. Thank God. And we're going to have fun. So let's not waste any time on this episode. And to all the new listeners out there, I'd like to say first off, welcome to the show and welcome to the party. But we're going to kick things off and we're going to start talking about what the big news that, you know, everybody's been talking about over the weekend, especially in the movie business. And of course, that movie just happens to be 50 Shades of Grey. I didn't see 50 Shades of Grey. Okay? I didn't see it. Did I want to see it? Hell no. You know why I didn't want to see it? Because I am not going to be the only dude sitting in the theater watching this movie, which was made specifically for women. It was. Be real. Be honest with yourself. You know it's the truth. And you could quote me on that if you want to, but that's just the plain as the skin on my face. Women were in the theater watching 50 Shades of Grey with a pad and a pen. Taking notes. Thinking, okay, let's see if I can do this. Let's try to spice things up in the bedroom. Well, did you really need a movie to do that? Honestly, ask yourself, did you really need a movie to spice up the love life in the bedroom, wherever you live at or reside or whatever? This movie topped the box office over Valentine's Weekend. Of course they put this movie out over Valentine's Weekend. Were they trying to send hints, little clues or something? This movie made about $94 billion over the weekend. Over the weekend alone, it's already grossed over $265 million in the box office. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is it that good of a movie that I would even swallow my pride to go see 50 Shades of Grey if I got asked? Maybe. Maybe. But my choice, my decision still stands. I am not getting taken to see 50 Shades of Grey. There's nothing you can say and nothing you will do that will change my mind. Now, granted, I know that there are people out there that say that they love the movie. Others out there are skeptical about it. And then, of course, you have those people that have those negative remarks. I get that. It happens in every freaking movie. Every movie out there always has their positives and their negatives, their pros and cons, if you will, if you want to be technical about it. But let's be real. If the movie is good as they say it is, then, quite honestly, who the hell am I to judge? I didn't see the movie. So I can't really put my 2 cents on the whole flick at all, much less have I even read the book. I haven't done that either. So I can't really sit here and judge something that I didn't read or didn't see. So yes, that may make me sound like a hypocrite. That make me sound a little redundant. But you know what? It's the principle of the matter. 50 Shades of Grey was directly targeted at female viewers or female readers. That's exactly what that movie was doing. That was the plan, the whole time. But you know what? It's okay. Ladies, you can have your 50 Shades of Grey. Go ahead, bask in that glory that is the movie, the book, however you want to see it, that's fine. Because guess what? The fellas, we got a response to that. We have a counterattack, if you will. We have a movie that we want to see that was targeted at the fellas. Gee, I wonder what movie that is. Oh, that's right. It's coming out this Friday night. And that movie is Hot Tub Time Machine 2. That is a movie that I am going to see. That is a movie worth watching because I love the first one. It was hilarious. People were laughing their asses off in the theater, and they couldn't stop laughing long enough to even know what the hell was being said in the movie until they bought it out on DVD or by some freak of nature thinking or whatever decided to download it on the computer. Shame on you. Did you not learn from Pirate Bay when they got shut down? Did you not learn from Kick-Ass Torrents when they got shut down? Think, people. If you're going to watch a movie and enjoy it, at least wait till it comes out on a digital copy or on Blu-ray or DVD, whatever. Okay? Be real. But let's get back to the matter at hand. So, the ladies get 50 Shades of Grey. We counteract with Hot Tub Time Machine 2. Right? Down the line in the summer, the ladies get their movie again. What do they get? Magic Mike XXL. Oh my God. They get Magic Mike again. They get the sequel. I should have seen this coming. Am I getting dragged to this movie? Hell no. Am I going to go see it? Really? You're going to ask me that question. Am I really going to go see this movie? Get out of your damn mind. You know what? Ladies, you can have that one too. You got your Magic Mike XXL. Guess what we got right around the corner? Ted 2. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, the ladies get their movie about guys dancing around and shaking their thing all they want to, right in front of you. Enjoy yourself. We get a movie about a talking teddy bear with an attitude. And that's fine with us. Because we like that kind of movie. We like that stuff. But you know what? We all win come May 1st. On my birthday, we all win. Because a lot of people like to draw the line between what guys like in movies, what women like in movies, what kids like in movies, what elderlies like in movies. Everybody has their own style. Everybody has their own taste. Everybody has their own genre. And I get that. Everybody has their own likes and dislikes. But come May 1st, everybody is going to go ape shit when the Avengers Age of Ultron hits the theaters that day. You best believe my happy ass is going to be sitting directly in the center of that movie theater. Center row, center seat. That's my spot. I'm going to be wide awake. I'm going to be ready. Maybe I'll dress up for the event. Who knows? People that actually go out there and dress up for the events for movies like this? Star Wars, people are going to be dressing up for that. Avengers, they dressed up last year. I have pictures to prove it. Okay? Movies like this attract audiences. Any Marvel flick, you are bound to see at least one or two people, okay, maybe 100 or 200 people dress up like their favorite Marvel character, especially if it's the movie that's being released. Ninja Turtles, when that movie came out, everybody wanted to dress up like a turtle. Go green. You know what? I had my Ninja Turtle shirt when I went to the theater, and I thought I was going to be the only one. No, there was a family that came in. It was a husband, wife, their 3 kids. All 3 of the kids dressed up as Ninja Turtles, which I thought was the cutest thing ever. It was really cool. It was unique. It was funny. But you know what? They said, hey, we're going to go see the Turtles. Let's dress up like them. Okay. It works. But let's be real, okay? Now think of that and then see 50 Shades of Grey and you see some girls walking around in some skimpy outfits at the movie theater. That's not going to happen. That ain't going to fly. You think the attendants are going to let that slide? Especially the managers? They're not going to let girls walk in there with some skimpy outfits. There's kids in the theater, okay? Have some sense. Have some sense. You wouldn't see no guys dressing up in no BDSM outfits. You know what I'm saying? That'd be kind of if you like that kind of stuff, do you. That's all I can say. Do you. But like I said, man, everybody has their movies. Everybody has what they like, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to sit here and badmouth about it anymore because, let's face it, hate mail is coming. I already know. So I say bring it on. So, let's switch gears. Let's go to something a little bit more exciting that happened on Valentine's weekend, which was the NBA AllStar Weekend. AllStar Weekend. Everybody loves AllStar Weekend. The celebrity game that everybody watched was a great game. Celebrity All-Star game was off the chain. You know, Grey's Anatomy came out to play. Jesse Williams was out there, a.k.a. Jackson Avery. Shout out to Jesse Williams, and I hope you get better, man. Hope you get better soon, man. Let that knee heal up. Hey, Ellen Pompeo was out there in the stands. I caught a glimpse of her when I was watching on TV. I'm like, that's Meredith Grey. Hey, she made it to the game. Cool. So shout out to Ellen Pompeo. But the real story here in the celebrity game was the fact that for the 4th time in a row, Kevin Hart was voted the MVP. But the thing about this was he was voted the MVP on a losing team, which has not happened for a while, but it's happened before. So Kevin Hart wins, and everybody just goes nuts. Of course, Kevin went nuts because he won, but Spike Lee was upset. I bet he was more upset when Kevin Hart did the whole Reggie Miller choke taunt in front of him after he won. Mike Golick tried to save it and he walked up to him and said, this is a Kanye moment. You don't get this. Tries to take the trophy away. Kevin Hart saved it by saying, and I quote, this is Black History Month. Let us have it. Let us have this one. But Kevin Hart, as funny as he is, before he started joking, he actually did something that was really, really emotional. And I think it was a great gesture on his part to show that we are human, to show that he has, a sensitive side. He told it flat out and right in the midst of everything. He said, Stuart Scott was always here for the All-Star games, and without Stuart here, it's not going to be the same. His daughters came out there to support, to stand in ovation for everybody to, pay the tributes and pay the respects to the late Stuart Scott. And I think that was a great move on Kevin Hart's part to add that in there. So I think that was great. I think he did good on that one. But here's where I think it's really funny. He said after 4 MVPs, he said that he's going to announce his retirement from the Celebrity All-Star Game. Do you honestly think that Kevin Hart's really going to retire after winning 4 MVPs? I don't think so. But then you got to think, when he said that it wasn't the same without Stuart Scott, maybe he was telling the truth. Maybe, just maybe, that he might actually retire because of the feelings he had for Stuart Scott. And you're right, a lot of things aren't the same when people aren't around when you're used to having it. When you have a tradition, when you have a tradition, whether it's with your family or with your friends, it's never the same when a loved one is gone. It's never the same. Sure, you want to think that it's going to be the same, but quite frankly, it won't be. I have friends of mine that I've lost over the years, and I try to do the same things that we used to do back in the day, and believe me, it is never the same. And it will never be the same. The memories are there, the laughter is going to be there, and the fun times are going to be there, but that person that you had those moments with is not there. So it's never going to be the same. But you take that, you take those memories, you take those, those moments that you enjoy, that you had a great time. You just take everything in and just keep the dreams and keep the memory, keep the spirit alive while you're doing this, while you're having your traditions, while you're having everything going on. Keep all that inside you and bring it out. Just let it out. Say, you know what, man, we did this, we did that. He always did this, always did that. Hell, if you have to do something that reminded everybody of what that person did, then hell, you're already a winner in their book. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. You're already a winner in that book. Hands down. So, yeah, Kevin Hart wins again. So we get to Saturday. We get to Saturday, which was the 3-point contest and the slam dunk competition. Holy crap, this is what I was waiting for. The 3-point contest lived up to the hype that everybody was talking about. Everybody was waiting to see the 3-point contest because at first they thought the 3-point contest was going to be more interesting than the slam dunk competition. Boy, were they wrong, but I'll get into that in a minute. Let's get to this 3-point contest. Steph Curry was the heavy favorite to win this thing from the get-go. The minute that his name was thrown into the hat for the 3-point competition, people were already saying that he was going to win. Steph Curry, he just said, all right, people saying I'm going to win. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to do my best, whatever. But look at the competition you had. You had Curry, Klay Thompson, James Harden, JJ Redick. The list goes on and on. You had some top quality 3-point shooters in there. But Steph Curry was just on point the entire time. He scored 27 points out of 34. That's the most points that he scored in a round since I don't know when. And he made 13 consecutive shots. Second most in 3-point shootout history. So Steph Curry, who is arguably one of the best players in the NBA right now, proved his skill yet again by winning the 3-point contest. Now, if he comes back next year, well, he's going to have to come back next year. He has to defend his title. Is he the heavy favorite to win next year? I think so. I really think so. So right now, Steph Curry, you're the man. You are the MVP. And I'm not just using that as a joke. You were really the MVP. Now, LeBron James has always said that he was going to enter the dunk contest, and he never does it. Now he's saying that he regrets not being in the slam dunk competition, and I don't see why we want to believe him about that. Let's be real, guys. If LeBron James had entered the slam dunk competition when he said he was going to do it, he would have been champion already. No questions asked. But no, we give it to Dwight Howard, we give him to Nate Robinson, and we give him to, Zach Lavine. Zach Lavine. Where did this kid come from? Who is this kid? I'll tell you who he is. He's the closest thing to Vince Carter than we've gotten in a slam dunk competition in a long while. Granted, my Magic player, Victor Oladipo, he represented for the Magic, did his thing, made it to the championship round. But his dunks, man, he was just kind of slacking. Like, what are you doing, man? If you're going to hit these dunks, man, you got to hit them right. You can't just sit here and slack off on that. Like, be real. But Zach Lavine was on point from the get-go. Every dunk that he did shocked the freaking world. But I'm not going to give I'm not going to sit here and give, hate speeches or not say anything bad about Oladipo because he gave us a 720 dunk. Are you kidding me? 720 dunk and slammed it backwards. Now, when people saw that, they just lost it. They got up out their seat, started going crazy. The entire arena just erupted when that dunk happened. But here's the thing. When he did it the first time and missed, that's when people started to stand up. I don't think anybody stood up for the other two. That's how serious that dunk competition was between those two guys, between Oladipo and Lavine. People were just like, okay, these guys are dunking. Yeah, they're in there, but they're not going to last. Oladipo missed that first dunk when everybody knew what he was doing. They stood up. They were waiting. And I'm thinking, this is going to be good. He hit that 720, man. It was a wrap. I'm like, he got it. This is it. Like, he dunking for real now, man. We're going to have a player from the Orlando Magic winning the slam dunk competition. That's what I'm talking about. Wait, who is this Zach Lavine? What is that dunk? Oh, my God. That's exactly the reaction everybody said. Zach Lavine hit a 50 on his first dunk. A 50 on his first dunk. A 50 on his second dunk. And on his last two dunks, he hit a 49 and a 48, something like that. The under the leg dunk. That dunk is not uncommon. A lot of guys do it these days. When Vince Carter did it, it was a wrap. When Zach Lavine did it, it was like a rebirth of the dunk. No one knew that was coming. But the way he did it was sick. What's the word I'm looking for? God, there's a word I'm thinking for when he did that dunk. He revolutionized the under the leg dunk by doing it the way he did. Normally when you dunk it under your leg, you grab the ball and you take it under your leg and then you come up with it like a tomahawk. When he did it the first time, what did he do? He went under the leg and dunked it backwards. That's a 50 right there in my book. Holy crap. Get this kid like a 100 on that dunk. Then the second dunk he did was his signature dunk that I found out. His signature dunk where he takes it behind the back, comes up with it, and jams it. And he had plenty of space to do that too, which made it even sicker. Even sicker. When he hit that dunk, I said, shh, it's over. This kid's about to win this dunk competition. Y'all ain't ready for this kid. And he's from the Timberwolves too. The team with the worst record in the NBA has the best dunker in the NBA right now. How ironic is that? It's ironic. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Then, of course, we get to the AllStar game, which was on Sunday. East versus the West. We all know how this is. Everybody's out there just for show. It's entertainment, guys. The AllStar game is all about entertainment. That's why when you see that game, it's all about the high fly moves, the nice passing, the great moments that everybody will remember. It's all about having fun. So, of course, you're going to see teams scoring 130, 140 points or more because defense in this game is optional. It's optional. Except if you really want to win this game. Now, I don't know exactly what the record is between the West and the East when it comes to All-Star history, but, I mean, the West has won pretty much most times I've seen it, so it really ain't been the same since Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant went at it at the All-Star game, which I think was amazing. But let's be real. The All-Star game is a celebration. It shows everybody that says, hey, we can have fun too. Every sport has their all-star game. NFL has the Pro Bowl. Hockey has their all-star game. Baseball has their all-star game with the home run derby, which I personally like. It's one of my favorite things about baseball's AllStar Weekend is the home run derby. Basketball has their Hall of Fame. They have their all-star game. And, of course, they have the dunk contest, the three-point contest, the celebrity challenge, which everybody has. The NHL has their skill challenge, which I don't really watch that much. But NFL has theirs at the end of the season. NBA has theirs in the middle of the season. So now that the All-Star game is over, we're getting back to basics here. We're getting back to the show. We're getting back to the nitty-gritty. We got to get the rest of this season done and over with so we can focus on the playoffs. That's all it is. So I think that every All-Star game is unique in its own way because of the fact that, it's all about entertainment. It's all about fun. You go out there to have a good time. You're not sitting there to, try to win some contest. It's a chance for you guys to take a break. Take a chance to enjoy yourself. Just be out there with the fans. Give them something that they'll remember. Have some fun. Hell, the Harlem Globetrotters, they do their thing almost on a daily basis. And these guys do it, better than anybody else. And did you guys know that they have a female Globetrotter now? Yeah, history in the making. Check them out. All I'm saying is, now that the fun's over, it's time to get down to some business. But the next thing we got going on in sports pretty much these days is college ball, where Kentucky is still, keyword, still undefeated. 26-0. And they are getting closer and closer to that number 1 overall seed in the tournament bracket, which they're probably going to get, bar none. I'm not going to even sugarcoat that. They're going to get it. That's easy. Who's going to stop Kentucky right now? Nobody. And there's still only 2 unbeaten teams in college basketball today. The Kentucky men and the Princeton women are still unbeaten. This is crazy. I don't know who's going to stop Kentucky. I don't know who's going to stop Princeton. Then again, I don't watch women's basketball that much. Don't get me wrong. I'll catch some WNBA games, but I really don't follow women's college ball like I do the guys' college ball. And I'm not saying that to be biased. I'm not saying that to be sexist at all. Basketball is basketball. Some of these girls play better than the men do. Let's be real. Some of these girls play a lot better than the guys do. Okay? And that's just plain fact right there. I'm not going to sit there and doubt myself. If I ended up playing against some of those girls out there, I'd probably get embarrassed. But you know what? I brought it on myself. So be careful who you talk to. Be careful who you play ball with out there, because you never know. A girl might show you up and embarrass you in front of your friends. And you'd have to live with that forever. There is no coming back from that. I think that's every guy's fear, right? To get beat in their own favorite sport by a girl. I think that's every guy's fear. Every guy's fear. Don't even try to sit there and deny it. All you guys out there know that any sport that you play, that you think you're the best in, and you get beat by a girl, your pride won't even let you admit to that girl that she is better than you. Your pride won't even admit that. You won't let it happen. You'll say, no, I was tired. You'll make excuses to say, no, it wasn't like this. It wasn't like that. I had a glare in my eye. My shoes were all messed up. I didn't have on the right gear. Bullshit. If you get beat, own up to it. If you get beat by a girl in any sport, own up to it. You want to know something? You want to know some facts and figures right now? You ready for this? I'm not ashamed to say this. When I was growing up, yes, this is another story of mine, and I'm going to reveal it right here and now. When I was growing up, all I wanted to do was play basketball. I wanted to play sports so bad that I didn't care who I was playing. I would always think that I was better than every kid on the block. I have my skills. I have my jump shot. I still got my jump shot. I can ball to this day. Pause. I can play ball to this day, and I still got my jump shot. You get me out behind that three-point line, it's a wrap. I'm not Steph Curry or nothing, but I can hold my own in a basketball game, okay? But when I was growing up, I always thought I could play better than everybody else. So one day, I was out there playing ball and just having a good time. And the next thing you know, I get challenged. I'm like, okay, I'll play a game against you. We'll play 21. It's a simple game, 21. Everybody knows the rules of 21. First one to 21 points win. That's just the way it is. So I got challenged. I got challenged by a girl. I'm not gonna lie. Girl has some skills. This girl had a jump shot that was probably better than mine. And this girl actually beat me in a game of 21. But she didn't beat me once. She didn't beat me twice. This girl beat me in 21 4 times that day. 4. My boys were standing on the sideline just watching this in disbelief. They didn't know what to do. Would they laugh at me? No. Were they mad at me? No. Were they saying things under their breath? No. Back then, we didn't say nothing. We kept everything between us. You know, what we said there stayed there. So I'm coming off the court, getting beat 4 times in a row by this girl. And I'm thinking, man, I cannot beat her to save my life. There's no way. But you know what? I wasn't mad. I admitted defeat. I said, you know what? That was a hell of a game. I can't, you got skills. You really surprised me. Y'all want to know who this girl was that beat me 4 times in one day? I'm not ashamed to say this. I'm going to sit here. My pride has nothing to do with this. This is straight fact right here, right now. That girl that beat me 4 times in basketball that same day when I was young, my own mother. That's right. My mom beat me in 21 4 times in one day. Granted, there were close games, but she ended up winning. My mom got a killer jump shot, boy. Just don't get in her face. She will shoot it and make it in front of you. Defense and all. Was I embarrassed on the inside? Yes, I was. Was I mad on the inside? Yes, I was. But did I let her show it? Did I show it to my mom? No. She knew. She's my mother. Of course she gonna know. Mom, I love you. You know I do. All I want to say is this. Anytime, anywhere, I need a rematch. I want a rematch. I'm calling you out, Ma. One more game of 21. Me and you. Mother against son. Winner take all. Well, we'll bet lunch. How about that? Winner buys the loser lunch. Or a loser buys the winner lunch. How about that? 1 game to 21. Lunch is on the line. How about that? What'd you say, Ma? Let me know. See, I'm not ashamed, guys. I'm really not ashamed. So the point that I'm trying to get is, if you get beat by a girl in a sport, own up to it. You never know. She may be closer than you think. A lot closer than you think. People probably gonna be like, man, why are you saying all these embarrassing stories about yourself? Why are you telling all this about yourself? Aren't you ashamed? Aren't you a little embarrassed to say all this? Like, don't you have any feelings? Of course I got feelings. If I didn't have any feelings, I wouldn't be able to say everything I wanted to say. So this is me bringing it out there. I'm telling you guys everything. A podcast, like I said, a podcast is a place where you can say what you want. Be who you want. And act a certain way you want to act. That's just the way it is. There's no shame behind it. Just because I'm holding the microphone and, talking into it about everything that goes on doesn't mean that that's not me. I can move around anywhere I want to. I can free to move around in this room with a microphone in my hand and just say whatever comes to mind. It's a place you can express yourself freely. Most times you got to do that in real life. And most times you got to do that away from the mic. That's a lesson I need to learn. To speak freely when I'm not holding a mic in my hand, which I've actually been able to do. So I've been able to speak my mind and say how I feel about everything. And I feel better because of it, because if you keep things bottled up and you don't tell somebody exactly how you feel, how are you going to know if you're getting anywhere in life? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to know? As long as that person knows how you're feeling, then you have some clarity and some knowledge of what the future holds for you. Not just for them, but mainly for you. Speak from the heart. Always speak from the heart, because you never know what the response is going to be. You might sit there and say something that you would think you get a negative response for, but when it turns out to be a positive one, then you surprise yourself. That's all I'm saying. And I think that is going to do it for this episode of the Krim Show. Yep, I'm about to hit the 35-minute mark right about now. There it is, 35 minutes, and we're going to wrap this show up. I am Antoine Criminal Mosley, your humble host, naturally. I'll be back here next Wednesday. Hopefully it won't be raining. I really hope it doesn't, because it's going to be a beautiful week once all this rain gets out of our system. But I mean, I'm not going to lie, the warm temperature does really feel good right now. I'm tired of this cold ass weather. But I got a feeling we will not be seeing the end of it anytime soon. So until then, I want you guys to enjoy yourself out there. Thank you guys for tuning in each week, and I hope to see you again on the next go-around, and we're going to have a lot more fun. Until then, I am getting out of here. The champ is gone. Holla at your boys. I'm out. Peace.